And welcome to an all new episode of Adventures in Workforce Development. This is part 12, an episode staying on top of things. Normally, when I do Adventures in Workforce Development, I do it in the afternoon or evening so that people can be off work, watch it, and then implement it the next day. However, for this episode, I've decided to do it in the morning because I had great things happen to me and I wanted to relay it because it pertains to workforce development. So, as I mentioned before, I am a project management professional, certified Scrum Master and IDOL with 13 years problem solving experience in project management, big data, and IT service management. And I have used government training money to receive my IDOL 3. And I'm doing this episode because you may not be starting from the bottom, so you may have already had a certification and things may expire, or you have to renew things or update your credential while you're requesting government training money. In my situation, I spoke with a recruiter today, and she said the reason why she wanted to speak to me and she passed my application to the next round is because I checked all the boxes and I had the project management professional on idle. And that leads me to tell you just to stay on top of things. I stress that I had the idle four. Well, as a recruiter, she knows about that. She knows that the landscape is changing and that idle 3 will be retired in June 2020. Idle 4 is very new. It just came out this February 28th, 2019. But I took the initiative to pass it March 31st of this year instead of waiting until 2020, where I feel most people will start trying to renew it. That initiative is the reason why my idle 4 is already paying dividends, and I'm getting the opportunities, the interviews, and forwarding deep into the process because of the initiative I've taken. I want to impart upon you that staying on top of things within your industry is very important. I feel that if I had the idle 3, because that's what was on the job description, that I still would have been forwarded. But I do feel that with the idle 4, it just put me on top of the application, and just being able to stay on top of things and to be current, that increases your competitive advantage, which is what I discussed in a previous episode. I'll put that episode down in the description. But just staying on top of things is essential when it comes to not just workforce development, but also what you would do afterwards, how you upgrade your skill. I also want to transition into what I said earlier in the video about maybe you already have some type of credential and there's a deadline that has to be met. For instance, for me, my project management cycle, my former cycle, ended June 26th of this year, 2019, and I was already in a program. And I made sure that I not only renewed my PMP, but because I was in the last year of a 3-year cycle, that I was able to maximize the 20 personal development units to go to the new cycle, which I'm currently in. And because I stayed on top of that, made sure that my credential didn't expire, and that I got the maximum return that I could get for the time period in the cycle, I'm able to be in a great position where I can renew my PMP, and it will be current until June 26th of 2025. So with this episode of Staying on Top of Things, whether you're new, this is the first credential you're going for, or you have one and you're going for another one to increase your marketability and to stay current, it's just very important that you stay on top of things. You always are current on what's happening in the industries that you're in, because that's part of what's making you marketable. If you are obsolete and you don't know what's going on in your industry, no one's going to hire you, and uh, no one's going to take you serious, because when you get these credentials, you have to be seen as a professional, and that's very important, because if you take the initiative to look for a certification, then that means you're also taking the initiative to see what's in the marketplace. My final thing is regarding certifications. It also applies to staying on top of things. when you do want to look at what potential certification you're looking at, also look at the industry and see what are growing industries. So, for instance, I mentioned project management. That's a very hot industry. It's in demand industry. Another one that I discussed is IT service management, which is an in demand industry because it's IT, information technology. So, if you're going and looking for certification for industries that are plateauing or either contracting and dying, then that wouldn't be a good usage of money. And they even have in demand positions and in demand or hot jobs. So I've mentioned this on several occasions. I'm a native Clevelander. I'm back in Cleveland and I'm going through the Cleveland workforce development. And IT is a growth job, a growth industry. So what I'm requesting is what's growing. That's a third thing. So the three things I wanted to discuss is one, to stay current of your industry. Two, if you already have a certification, make sure, even if you have deadlines, to make sure that they don't expire while you're looking for the new certification or if you're currently in the program. And then number three, evaluate and look for the certifications if you do decide to pursue certification in the training program to make sure that it's in a growing industry. So that's this episode of Adventures in Workforce Development, Part 12, Staying on Top of Things. My name is Carla R. Jenkins. I'm a certified project management professional, certified Scrum Master, and IDOL with 13 years experience in project management, big data and IT service management, and I'm looking for opportunities, full-time direct hire, remote positions in Cleveland as well as Washington, D.C. And you can get in touch with me on my LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/Carla R. Jenkins. So I would like to thank everyone for taking our time to watch this episode of Adventures in Workforce Development. Remember, we also have a playlist that's on YouTube so you can watch all of the episodes. And I'll see everyone in the next episode. Goodbye.